just got this in. So this is the Amcrest Skyview Pro. Now this is a brushed toy grade quadcopter with altitude hold, a little video camera on the front that records to a micro SD card, and it's got an app that transmits video to your iPhone or your Android smartphone. The Amcrest drone comes with a long-lasting proprietary battery, and that's this here, and you could charge it with using a micro USB charge cable, and they do include one in case you don't have one of those lying around. So a few things before we take this up for a flight. If you're expecting to get micro SD card footage, you need to power this drone on and give it 30 seconds before you bind to the controller. Now, I tested this, and consistently I would get corrupt video if I didn't do this. And the manual states that you need to give it time for the camera to sync with the drone. Alright, stop, intermission, because guess what? Despite what I said, despite the fact that I followed the process in the manual, I came home to a completely empty micro SD card. I don't believe it's the card size that matters. It's the card type. Because I'd used a SanDisk 32 gigabyte card in this thing, and that is what failed me today. But I got out my old PNY 32 gig card, I put that in there, and I followed the procedure to the T, and it worked just fine. And I really don't know what to say about that, because SanDisk cards are the most common cards around. It's SanDisk. It's a well-known brand. Why can't I get it to work with this drone? I don't know. I was pretty upset, I'm not gonna lie, when I got home and I found out there was no micro SD card footage, especially when I thought I had nailed this. I thought I had nailed this down. And I'm gonna prove it to you that the micro SD card works. So let's do the one key takeoff. And there you go. I hope that's enough proof that, yeah, the micro SD card does work. It does produce footage. I can't explain this. I can't explain this. The cards are formatted the exact same way. They are the exact same capacity. Sure, there's some differences from manufacturer to manufacturer in quality of flash memory, but it doesn't make any sense why this thing has such a huge problem with SanDisk cards that are way better than the crappy PNY card. So I don't understand it, but that is the situation. So my review does not have any onboard footage, and that is the reason why. So I hope that clears that up for you. I'm going to start the drone up by holding this button back here. And there we go. We've got it at least started up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the ground. And we're going to wait 30 seconds, I guess. Okay, I've waited plenty long enough now. The camera has definitely synced to the drone, so now I can go ahead and turn on the remote and do up and down on the control stick, and I will have bound to the drone. And you can see that the drone stopped flashing. All the lights went solid. That means the controller has bound to the drone. I've got some grass here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to take off out of this spot. But before we take off, we need to get our video. So to do that, we go to our settings in our phone and we connect to Skyview 720p. It's going to be a Wi-Fi network. You'll see it come right up. And then once your phone is connected, you can go to the Skyview app, press the fly button, and there you go. That's your FPV view. Now hopefully we're able to take off. So these are some of your buttons here. This is the one key takeoff. this is the camera and video button. You press that once to take a picture. You hold down the button to start a video recording. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to take off here. And there we go. In this wind, it's quite difficult, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to try changing the speed rates a little bit. And to do that, you press this stick. You press in on this stick. And that'll give us the highest angle. Now I gotta tell you, I've flown a lot of brushed quadcopters, and we have some decent wind out here. And I gotta say, I am really impressed with how this thing is just cutting through the wind. I mean, wow. Let's see if we can get this thing to sit still. Alright. There we go. We have a lull in the wind now, a little bit. And I can get it to sit still and kind of just take some pictures of me. See, it can be a steady drone as long as you don't have a whole lot of wind fighting you. Oh, there we go. There we go. There goes that wind again. There is quite a bit of jello in the video. The torque on these brushed motors, whew, this is something else. Now I will say this, when I went out there, I started to feel some lag on my control. Let's give this a thorough test. Let's go ahead and fly all the way out to that baseball thing and back. I want to really see. Well, oh yeah, I feel lag. I feel lag right there. Yep. Okay. So just for reference, you're not going to be able to fly very far with the Wi-Fi FPV on, because not only does the video lag, the control also lags. So, you know, we've got just about the distance of this little field here is how far you're going to go with it. It's just sort of coasting through the air all by itself. You see that? I'm just letting it coast. The battery is really beefy, that's for sure, because we're getting really good run time. Especially for all this wind. It's just fighting the wind. So because you're constantly having to correct your position, it can be difficult to get shots, but you could do it. Alright, so one quick feature before we get out of here. To do a flip, you press in on the right control stick, and then give it the direction you want to flip. So if you want to do a right flip, you can do a right flip. you want to do a backflip, you can do backflip. There we go. Like I said, this drone's just fun to fly even without a camera. Woo! You could do flips in any way. Forward flips, back flips. And look at that, it's maintaining the flip even in all this wind. It's not tumbling down. Alright, well that's it guys. I don't think I have anything left to show you about this little Amcrest Skyview Pro at this point, so I'm going to go ahead, give the battery a break, give the motors a break, and land this, and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to go ahead and use that self-land feature. My phone's low on battery anyway, so it's time to come home. Time to go home. Oh, no, come on, let me get in the hand, man. There we go. Coming to me. There you go. Alright. Alright, so what do I think about the Amcrest Skyview Pro? I mean, the video is nothing special. It's not super great. I think you can kind of expect that from models like this. This is a toy. It's not made to be a professional drone. I really like how it flies. That's my favorite thing about it. I like how it flies. The motors are very torquey. As far as the camera startup experience, I think that's really weird and out of the ordinary, but once you know that that's how it works, you really shouldn't have any trouble.
Well, famous last words there, huh? I left that part in because this was my in-the-field assessment. This is how I felt in the field, and sometimes you learn new information when you get back home, and it changes everything. But it is what it is.
If I had any complaint about it, it could be the price. It's kind of on the expensive side for a toy.
I'm going to reflect on this comment too, because before I realized I lost all my SD card footage, I was aware that other reviewers had reported the same exact problem. And I was simply under the belief that they weren't doing it right, that they just weren't waiting the 30 seconds, which, you know, that's sort of a pain in and of itself. But I just figure, you know, hey, this is the process, and they weren't doing it right, so that must be why. Well, then to find out that I need a very specific micro SD card to make it work, the bottom line is this drone's camera setup is just way too complicated, way too finicky, and for the price that they're asking for it, it shouldn't be so hard for people who are experts at working with drones to get some freaking video from it. Now, if you follow the method that I gave you, and you use, you know, the right card, you should be able to get some footage out of this thing. Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Really, it makes it hard to argue for that Amazon price where it's going to be higher, but you're paying a higher price for that ability to return it if there are any problems, no questions asked. I feel like, well, you might end up having problems right out of the gate because it's just so complicated to get a video recorded. That's just my honest opinion of it.
Alright, so that's it guys. Thank you for watching this review. I hope you found it informative. If you liked it, please leave me a thumbs up. You know where that button is. And as always, have a great day guys. I'm gonna go do some flying.